Sonic the Hedgehog. Yes. It's the game that we all remember from our childhood. It came out on the Sega Genesis and later on the Master System, and it even came out on the handheld console from Sega called the Game Gear. I even made a video on that, and I am planning on making a Master System video later. Anywho, Sonic the Hedgehog is a game that is loved and still cherished to this day. It is super fun and got a ton of sequels. Even if there were a few bad games, it's still a fun series, and I highly recommend free-to-play Sonic games. So today I'm going to be reviewing Sonic 1 for the Sega Genesis. It came out in February of 1991, and it was up against Mario World for the Super Nintendo. And when this game came out, it was a pretty big deal. And it's surprising to me that so many sales of the Genesis were just because of people's desire to play Sonic and stuff. So, I'm gonna see if this game still holds up today and if it's still a good game after all these years. Now, first we're gonna be talking about the levels in this game. Now, first off is Green Hill Zone. Y'all know it and y'all love it. It's the most iconic world in any video game out there, and it's pretty fun just having Sonic run around, collecting rings and stuff, but the rest of this game is either mediocre or just bad. I just feel like people only remember this game just because of this zone and how great it is, but the rest of the game is either mediocre or just horrible. So, next up is Marble Zone. It looks and sounds nice, but there's a ton of waiting around on platforms, which is kind of boring, and it's kind of a slow-paced world if you ask me. Marble Zone suffers from the same problems as well. It looks and sounds nice, but there's just way too much stuff that can kill you in this world, and once again, it is not a fun world to play. And Labyrinth Zone is nothing better. It is way worse because it's a water stage, but this is the worst water world I have ever played in a video game. Did you think those water levels in the Super Mario series were bad? Well, play this world, and this world is not fun to play. There is so many unfair moments, there are very little rings, and just so many ways for you to die. Next up is Starlight Zone, and it feels like a band-aid has been put on the level design. I mean, it's a little bit better, but there are a lot of frustrating moments. And what I mean by a little better is that there's a bunch of places where Sonic can go fast and stuff, but there are a lot of death pits and unfair enemy placements. There are also these fans that push you around, and they don't really work like fans should. I mean, I get this is a 90s game, but it just feels awkward and stuff. Scrap Brain Zone is the final world to this game, and it is not bad either, but it focuses more on platforming, and there's a maze-like structure to this world, which makes it very slow-paced and stuff. And once again, there are a lot of unfair enemy placements, and there are just so many frustrating moments that you're gonna have to deal with. One thing I want to tell you about the levels is that when you get 50 rings or more, you'll unlock the special stages. It takes you to this pretty cool rotating space-like zone where you collect rings and a Chaos Emerald. And if you're familiar with Sonic games, then you're definitely going to know that you can get all of the Chaos Emeralds to unlock Super Sonic, but that doesn't really happen in this game. What do you unlock for getting all the Chaos Emeralds? Well, you get this cool image of Sonic pointing at you. Nothing else. I'm not even joking. That's all you get. And also, you know how you get 7 Chaos Emeralds? Well, it's only 6 in Sonic 1. Believe it or not. Next up, I'm going to be talking about the bosses. Green Hill Zone has Eggman with a ball that moves left and right. You're supposed to hit him. You can hit him in a bunch of ways and stuff. Like, it's not like Mario where you can jump on the boss's heads and stuff. You can hit them in any place and stuff. Anyways, the first fight is pretty easy and stuff, and it's kinda iconic too. Marble Zone has Eggman dropping fireballs on 2 platforms, going left and right. This ball fight is kind of tricky, but it's nothing special comparing it to Super Mario World and stuff. Scrap Brain Zone has Eggman flying above, but he's picking out blocks from the ground, and you're supposed to hit him while he's down. It's a creative fight, I gotta say. It's probably my favorite one so far. Labyrinth Zone is where you chase Eggman in a vertical area, while there are a bunch of fireballs and spikes that are trying to get you. And this is a very annoying boss fight. It's just hard and tedious. Like seriously. Starlight Zone has you flinging bombs up into the air, but you can also fling yourself with the bombs too. It's pretty fun and unique and stuff. The final fight is awesome, but it just feels like it ends too quickly. Eggman has pillars that he uses to try and squish you, and when you hit him, lasers come at you and try to kill you and stuff. Alright, so now it's time for me to talk about my thoughts on the game. Well, Sonic 1 is just okay. The majority of the levels just aren't fun to play. I mean, Sonic 1 is not a bad game to say, but it just has a lot of stuff that's not going for it. Like, Labyrinth Zone is just a pain in the butt to play. The bosses aren't fun to fight. Like, you know, it's just that stuff. If you had an hour to kill, then I guess this game would be fine. Like, seriously, if you had an hour to kill and this was the only game you had, and like, no other game but this, I guess you're fine, alright? Now, I'm gonna be reviewing another Sonic game soon, and I think this is the end of the video. Like, there's not much else to say about this game, so yeah, I just hope you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and show this to your friends, alright? Now, I hope you have an excellent day. Adios.